This is XCT, and I'm talking to Elwyne Little of Douglas, Kansas. And Elwyne, you've been around a little. How many years old are you?
95.
95. And you were born in Oklahoma?
No, I was born in Kansas. Moved to Oklahoma when I was about 4 years old.
Were you old enough that you remember the move? Were you old enough that you remember moving?
No, I don't remember how we moved or anything, but we had a sale. We lived down by Belle Plaine, and we had a sale, and he sold everything that he couldn't take with him and to Oklahoma.
So where did you go to in Oklahoma?
Canton, Oklahoma.
And did you go there because Dad had a job, or?
Well, my father's sister farmed out there northwest of Canton, and I think she helped him rent an Indian farm down there, and we moved down there.
And the people that you bought the farm from, is that the people that you bought a pony from?
The Indian that owned it, that's right.
So, was that pony around by the time you remember, or were you around old enough that you remember the pony being bought?
Well, I moved there when I was about 4 or 5, something like that, and we got to be friends with the Indians, and well, I don't remember the pony at that time, but a year or two later the pony showed up.
And I thought I heard somebody ask you a question, something about that pony, and you having a little disagreement, or he bucked you off or something.
Well, we rode him to school, and my brother was in the first or kindergarten, and he'd ride behind, I'd ride in the saddle. Well, one time I put the saddle on, and he got up behind him, and the pony took off, and I couldn't catch him, and the saddle slipped around under his belly, and Ernie, that was my brother, he fell off. The pony never stepped on him. He just walked over there and stopped.
Well, that's a good pony.
Good pony. A good pony.
So how long were you there in Oklahoma?
We moved in, I'd say 5 years.
And were you raising wheat or cotton, or what kind of crops?
No cotton. We raised corn. We didn't raise any wheat that I remember, but Dad raised hogs and fed the corn to the hogs, and we milked a few cows to get milk for the family. But cotton never was, we never got into that.
Well, you know, I'd never been around cotton at all until these last few years when they started the new strain and having cotton right up here in Douglas, Kansas. Seems strange.
No kidding?
Have you seen any of it growing around here?
No, I haven't.
2 or 3 years ago, there was 2 beautiful fields right out here by that trash dump where you could take the leaves and so on. And I just couldn't believe it. Because cotton to me is deep south. So, you were born about 1913.
October 13th. 1913.
And my father, I think, was born in '03. I'm not sure about that. But he didn't see as much about the Indians in Oklahoma as you did, because I never heard anything about direct contact with the Indian people from my father or from my grandfather. I take it you found them pretty decent, honest people to deal with.
Well, yes. Of course, I was just 5 or 6 years old, but we counted them as friends, and we visited with them, and
they're just folks like folks are supposed to be, weren't you?
Right, right.
Yeah. I get so disgusted with a lot of the prejudice that's going on today among groups that mostly they don't really know that if they just be neighborly, everybody else wants to be neighborly if you're neighborly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad your experience with the Indian people down there around Canton was like that. So what brought you back to Douglas?
Well, all of our folks lived around in this area, and I really don't know what brought us back to.
But probably you're right.
But,
in fact, the folks were here.
Yeah, and they got us a place. They rented us a place 6 miles south of Wichita on Hillside over there, because they lived there pretty close to right on the Arkansas River. And that's where I went to school at Derby.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'll come back to you.